The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 161. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, this evening, this afternoon, however it is you are doing it. We very much appreciate it. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the right of me this evening is the Trail Master of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm doing super fantastic on this Sunday evening.
Yep.
We are in about the fourth quarter of 2022.
Correct.
Halloween is upon us in about a week or so, after a week, and that's where we are in the world right now. If this is your first time listening to the show, thank you and welcome. We think you'll find the water to be very, very warm. If you like lively Disneyland discussion about the parks and prices and food and attractions and park benches, this is the great spot for you because we like to talk about that stuff. And all of you repeat offenders, welcome home. If tonight's show is brought to you by you guys, the listeners, if you'd like to be a part of that, you can join the Patreon family. Go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo. We make it super simple, $1, $3, or $5. That goes to keeping the show, our hosting fees, and all that kind of stuff. Also, you can buy T-shirts off tpublic.com. Holidays are coming. They make some good gifts, and I'm just thinking maybe we should try to get another shirt or two out here. I'm thinking about maybe asking a certain artist friend of ours to maybe come up with something to see if he'd be into that. You know, he might be. Okay. Anyway, tonight's show, we're going to cover the news, and then we are going to be having probably just a general discussion about Star Wars stuff, what's coming on or what's going on at Disney Plus and how it might relate to the parks, the park experience, because we do need to tie it back to the parks. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Well, so we had a live show before this. So all of you, thank you so much for tuning into that. That's great.
Yep. And from here on out, roughly, you guys, if you want to jump on the lives, we're doing it probably about falling every other Sunday evening around, 7, 8-ish Pacific Standard Time.
Indie time.
Yep. Just keep an eye out,
Yep.
We don't really announce it. I've kind of given up on trying to notify.
Sure.
I'm horrible.
Yeah.
We just get down and go like, hey, let's see who's around. And there we go.
Yeah. So, whoever's around, it's never the same group. Maybe a couple people.
Well, we have repeat offenders.
Yeah, repeat offenders. But, every show is a little bit different. Other people listening, and that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So, thank you for everybody who hops on and hangs out with us. We talk roughly about half hour. And just hang out.
Just hang out.
Yep.
So tonight's opening question comes from Jose. In fact, he had two, but we're going to save the first one for when Jess is back with us. Where's Jess? Well, she's actually has, I think, a work function this evening. I'm guessing that's what it is, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. She had mentioned she was out with some of her coworkers doing stuff. But don't worry, she'll be back. Yep. So Jose.
Do my radio.
Oh, yeah, sorry. The reason why there was some silence there is because he was kind of nodding his head yes. And
I'm like,
we forget we're not on the show.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't have a camera in front of me.
Yeah, it's so odd not having a camera in front of you, isn't it?
No, I know. I'm so used to it. Oh, my God.
Okay, so Jose did ask a question, and it was, if you could take anything from the parks with you, you go to the park, you take something. He said it could be anything. What would you take? So Jennifer had chimed in. He asked that during the live show, and we're going to keep it for this. Jennifer said that she would want to keep a lamp from every land. So I assume she meant like a street lamp sort of thing, and I thought that was very clever.
Very good.
I had never thought about that, but I would actually enjoy that. If someone's backyard had a few of those in there, I go, I know where that one's from. I know where that's from. Okay, cool. Garrett Bear had mentioned that he would like to take the plaque from where we got our name from the podcast.
Very
Who
cool.
you leave today.
Yep.
So he would take that one home with him.
Yep.
Where would you put such a thing?
Over
Over your bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Is currently what I have. Over
Or at your front door? Or
No, it would be gone. It would be.
well,
in my room.
assuming no one's going to steal it.
No.
Okay.
No, it would be in my over my bed. Yeah, currently I have a photo mosaic of Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Okay.
Had that for years now. Oh my
Years.
goodness, yeah, years.
So Udi and I did not answer the question. So we didn't. We wanted to save it for the show. And I guess there's a lot of things that I think I would want. I was trying to think of something that would be near and dear to me, and clearly I'd say, "Oh yeah, I'll take a Matterhorn car, bobsled with me." That way, I could have it in my front room, and someone to say, "Hey, is that a Matterhorn bobsled?" I'd be all, "Heck yeah, it is."
Yeah.
You want to sit in that thing?
No.
I would watch TV from that, but is that practical? I mean, God, I love that. Conversation piece for sure.
Well, yeah.
What color? I think I'd get the white with the green stripe on it.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea. You know, whenever I think of the Matterhorn bobsled, it's always the white and green version. That is
White and green, white and blue.
Well, yeah, but and there's a white and red, and I think there was a yellow at some point. But
Was it yellow or a tint of yellow?
well, if you look at the Matterhorn, I think there's a yellow one. There was a yellow with white, white with like a yellow stripe.
Yep.
But in my mind's eye, I automatically go to the white with green.
Yep.
And for some reason, but I'm sure that's not even the most popular one. But so what? So I have a guess for what Udi would take home with him.
Okay.
Should I guess first?
Yeah, go for it. I think I honestly don't think you have a clue, but go for it.
Okay. I think you would take the Jolly Roger from Pirates.
Good one, but no.
That's not even close?
Nope.
You would take an X-Wing from Galaxy's Edge.
Another good one. Did run through my head, but no.
Okay. Well, okay, there's no way you're taking the Millennium Falcon.
No.
Okay, where are you going to put that thing?
Yeah.
See, actually, I don't have an answer, but I think... See, I love the Adventureland sign, but that thing is just massive, right?
Massive. Like maybe something out of the Jungle Cruise, maybe one of their signs,
something
or
out of the Jungle Cruise.
the Jungle Cruise sign.
I
Smaller.
would take the Jungle Cruise sign.
Huh? Not
But
a bad one.
I'll tell you something. While they were retrofitting, redesigning the Jungle Cruise, if they said, "Oh, you want to take one of these tribesmen or something?"
Done.
I would have taken one of those.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I would have put him in the corner and let people freak out. Like, what is that?
Yes.
Let me explain.
Yeah, yes. I mean, one of the ones that are kind of hiding in the bushes.
Yep.
I think there's like 5 of them. I would take one.
And
of
you know
those.
what? I would totally figure out. We could totally build a mechanism for it so you could turn it on and have him go up and down like he's dancing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
I'd do it.
So
I
that
would do that.
So that is absolutely what I would take.
Yep.
One of the tribesmen or whatever they are from the Jungle Cruise. But the more realistic thing, I'd actually ask for the Jungle Cruise sign. Just have it right there. Okay, so I've guessed 2 for Udi.
Okay.
One was Jolly Roger, and he said no. One was the X-Wing fighter, and he said no. Gosh, okay.
Want to give one more, then I can call you out?
I can call. Yeah, let me try one more.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of your favorite attractions. So I'm gonna have to go. Is it one of the singing busts from Haunted Mansion? So Udi's
No.
shaking his head. No.
No.
Okay, so then I have no idea.
Okay. So many an item ran through my head. One was an X-Wing.
Yeah.
The sign where we got our name from, definitely. Skyway Bucket.
Yeah.
I would not mind a sign, an attraction sign from every attraction that I like. So
Oh.
what would be like Jungle, Indie, Pirates, Mansion, Rise, even though they don't have one.
There's not a sign for us. There's nothing over there?
Not really.
Oh.
I don't. Well, it's over there, but it's really kind of like lame. Designed from Rancho del Zocalo. Thunder
Yes,
Mountain sign.
yes.
All of that Space Mountain sign. But here is I could bring it down to one thing.
One thing only.
Yep.
Okay.
The lamp from Walt's apartment.
The lamp from Walt's apartment. Good answer. Solid answer.
Yep. And you want to know why?
Well, I know they just replaced it with a different one, but that one that was in there before wasn't even the original one.
No, I know.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind the original one.
Oh, so you ask why?
Yeah.
So that you have a reminder of of things that he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think when you look at it, the lamp alone can signify light, brightness in a dark world.
Sure.
So beyond the normal symbolism about that, but to me, the lamp has always represented Walt, his essence, still being in the park. And I would like that. And, Mark and I, we always tip of the cap and say a little thank you when we leave.
We do. And when I'm with my daughters, I just said, hey, just make sure you just a quick little nod to them. Why? Because without his stuff, we wouldn't be coming here.
Any of that.
Yeah.
Any of this.
Oh,
there
okay.
are so many things that we would not have right now.
Yeah.
So that would be it. Like, if you had to whittle me down to one,
Yes.
be that one.
Okay.
Yep.
You cannot argue with that.
Yep.
Jess would say, love it.
Love it. Yep.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah, so very good question, Jose. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
And we will have your other one next time when Jess is on the show, because I think she would appreciate that. We shall not forget it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, with that, let's go over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay, so the very first news item is something we didn't actually have in the news, but it came up after I had written up the notes, and just wanted to see what your thoughts are, because this event actually happens, what is today, the 23rd? Yes.
Yeah.
This happens tomorrow. Trader Sam's Mixology Seminar, including Tiki Mug, open for reservations at Disneyland Hotel. Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar at Disneyland Hotel will be hosting 2 sessions of a new mixology class. Trader Sam's Mixology Seminar on October 21st. So I guess there's 2 of them about it right now. There's a sign at Trader Sam's that is another sign that you would probably take. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Here's how Disney describes the Mixology Seminar. Journey to the world-famous Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar for a spirited mixology seminar that'll take your drink-building skills from ordinary to extraordinary. Learn how to make a tantalizing libation concocted especially for the Halloween season. Then, settle in next to Trader Sam's fireplace and revel in rumderful reception. While you linger, sip a tropical cocktail and indulge in heavenly hot and cold tray past hors d'oeuvres, courtesy of Ralph Stuhlmuller, executive chef for the Disneyland Hotel. The sessions will be at 4:30 p.m. and 7. The cost per adult, I'm going to leave that blank for now. That includes the mixology class, fireside reception with 1 beverage and a tray past hors d'oeuvres, and special Tiki Mug not yet released to the public. The Tiki Mug will likely be released to the public 2 days later, October 26th. How does that sound to you?
Very cool.
Very cool. I would, so you get, the first is 4:30 and 7 p.m. So I don't know how long it lasts.
An
hour and a half, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
How much would you pay for that experience?
$300?
You would pay $300. I'm really serious.
Yeah.
You would pay $300.
Well, maybe 2.
Okay, that sounds more like it.
Yeah, more like 2 because you get a tiki mug, you get 1 drink, only 1 drink.
I think you get to sip on different.
What you're
wine.
making,
Yeah, and I'm sure.
and then hors d'oeuvres. Yeah, I'd give a couple $100.
Okay.
I would do that.
Okay.
Very unique. It's gonna be small. Like I would pay for that.
Okay. What's going to be small? The mug?
Yeah, no. I mean, there are not gonna be a lot of people there.
Sure. Oh yeah, it's a very unique experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you'd be pleasantly surprised. It's offered at $159.
Holy crap! I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yes, I saw that price and I go,
I would go do that right now.
yes. That's a Monday at 4:30 and Monday at 7. I would do the 7 o'clock session, by the way,
Heck yeah!
because it's dark and the torches are lit.
Oh yeah.
So, I Disney, I know you're not listening. Maybe you are. Please do more of this stuff.
Yeah.
Love this kind of.
Oh, if they can do that more often,
Yeah.
I want to drive in my car. I would drive in my car, go do that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
159?
Yep.
For sure.
Spend 3 times as much in gas right now, but hey, we're not going to go there.
You're not going to.
No.
In fact, you're not going to be going anywhere with those prices.
Oh, bum. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
He's a comedian.
Snowcap returns to the turrets of Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland. Hey, are you already tired of the Halloween offerings at Disneyland? If so, brace yourself. The holidays are already on their way as snowcaps are on the turrets of the Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Cool.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, maybe you don't even pay attention to such matters, but they do transform the castle from the summer to spring. Sorry, from summer to fall. It stays. I think it stays the same, but late fall early fall, before Halloween, they add snow to the top. It just adds a little bit of flair to it. Adds a little bit of touch of a wintry white Christmas in Southern California. I think it's a nice touch, and I'm glad they're doing it. I can't say for sure if they change the location of the snow or modification every season, but to me it looks the same. But cool. That's going on right now?
Yep.
All right. Yes. Now, next item is the Black Panther Wakanda Forever characters, food, and more coming to Adventures Campus in Disney California Adventure.
Surprise.
Adventures Campus in DCA will be celebrating the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever with several new offerings. These will be available starting November 11th, and the film is released that day, all the way through January 8th of 2023.
Do you want to go see that?
I do.
All right, let's go see that.
Well, it's not even open yet.
I know, but November 11th.
Sure, I'll go see that.
Okay.
As previously released, M'Baku, is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
M'Baku was one of Wakanda's greatest warriors and chieftain of the Jabari clan, who will also make his way to Adventures Campus.
I like him.
He will
was a good
invite
character.
recruits to join the way of the Jabari that will experience some of the culture of the Jabari clan through chants and percussion.
That'll be very cool, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit more about this. Adjacent to the campus, just steps away from the side of the Collector's Fortress. Where is the Collector's Fortress? You mean the Guardians? Oh, that's okay. That's what they're calling that. Okay. The Black Panther Celebration Garden will honor the legacy of the Black Panther and Wakandan lore. The celebratory space invites guests to relax and reflect on the legendary protectors of the Kingdom of Wakanda. Okay.
Oh, man. Okay.
So this is the space that's right next to the Hyperion Theater there. That's usually the line for that. I know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So as you're walking towards Mission Breakout from Hollywood, it's going to be on your left-hand side.
Correct.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
that's a big space.
Yeah, no, very cool.
And
if they're gonna have all that going on there, cool. I'm glad they're doing something with that area. And for me, Black Panther is a very good movie.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And now I'm kind of worried about where they're going. You know, unfortunately, we all know what happened.
Oh man, yeah.
Super sad.
Dude, I had just gotten into the Black Panther and literally just started learning. I didn't even know who the actor was that played him, to be honest, because I'd never seen him before. But I did a little bit of background on him right after I saw the movie. Well, who was this guy? The dude seemed pretty cool, and I wish we would have had more time with him. I'm sorry, I don't know his name off the top of my head.
It just slipped my mind.
Okay. But anyways, I thought that's cool that they're doing this. That land, I hope they transform it, that little section, into something very thematic, I guess the term. While he's looking up his name, I'm going to read to you that nearby superhero recruits will find powerful fuel at Flavors of Wakanda Marketplace located in the Hollywood backlot. And so there's going to be specially themed dishes, especially themed drinks. I don't know if it's alcoholic or not.
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. Okay. Moment of silence for Chadwick Boseman. And we're back.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's, like I said, specially themed food, specially themed drinks, and then it looks like it is. Oh no, there's a non-alcoholic version, and there's another one called the Dawa beverage, consisting of vodka, lemonade, honey, ginger beer, and butterfly pea tea.
All over that. That sounds really good and refreshing.
I can say I'm not a huge fan of ginger beer. That's one of the things of Moscow Mule. Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's a taste that resonates with me too well. But I would probably try it if that's what it is. Purple and yellow is a picture of it. I think I like the color. Okay, so I'm glad they're doing this, and this is this is the right type of thing for Adventures Campus.
Yep.
So they're doing this in Adventures Campus for Black Panther. What would you say if the next Star Wars movie that comes out, they have a special deal going on in Galaxy's Edge? Do you think that's cool or no?
No problem.
No?
I got no problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, tying in whatever they can tie in is marketing 101.
Sure.
They're going to do that. And if they're really going to do food and you do it correctly, why not? I saw these popping off. I'm like, oh, okay. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
And as long as, like anything, when it comes to marketing, as long as it is done properly.
Sure.
When you get to food, you fall into taste and, all the other factors. But with these, it looks like they gave a good enough, broad enough spectrum that probably most people can find something they may enjoy in there.
For sure.
So it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyways, yeah, I think that's going to be a great thing for Adventures Campus.
Yeah.
And be nice to go check that out. And I hope they do more of that. And
Definitely. Yeah. Anything you can do to add uniqueness and flair and touches of things where people can get a very, hopefully make a special connection would be great.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. All right, and I guess we have a date to go see Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, we will.
Cool.
November 11.
Excellent.
Oh, it's Veterans Day that day, too. Okay. I did not know that.
Okay.
All right.
Next news item is Magicband Plus.
Hooray!
So this came out, actually, the good news is that we were just days away from the big reveal. All Disneyland Resort guests will be able to purchase a new Magicband Plus on October 26th. But some Disney fans will get an early opportunity. Yeah, so we are recording this on October 23rd. Last week, they went live to, I guess, Magic Key holders and media, I think. And then starting Tuesday or so, I'm guessing, or Wednesday, that's when they will be coming available to everyone else. Magic Key holder and DVC Club Preview will be on the 19th. Key holders will have the opportunity to purchase Magicband Plus with special strap and light sequence beginning the 19th. There will be an additional $10 savings on that Magic Key version. They are available at the Disneyland Starcade, California Adventure Superstore in Hollywoodland next to Monsters, Inc., and the Star Wars Trading Post in downtown Disney.
Okay.
Regular Magicband Pluses will be available everywhere when they launch. I guess those other ones, those special Magic Key ones, are available at those previously named locations. Walt Disney World has had the Magic Bands for years, but recently unveiled the new Magic Band Plus, which adds additional functionality. While the technology of the bands will be the same at Disneyland, not all the features will be available here, at least for now. So what you can do is Magic Band Plus will allow you, the guest, to tie your admission media to the band so they can tap to enter the theme parks, tap to enter lightning lanes, gather photo passes, and interact with shows and special experiences. The new bands will add flashing lights and haptics, so your band can alert you by tapping your wrist. So the prices go anywhere from $35 to $45. Yeah, and I know that they come with a charging cord. So there's some quick advice already for people that have used it. Is battery life is short. To make sure your band stay active throughout your visit, charge them fully before your visit, turn them off when you aren't actively using them, and bring the charging cord with you to the park. Charging cord is not universal. So select stores will carry replacements. Of course, they will for $8.
$8.
One size fits all, fits most, I guess. Bands can fall off, is what people are saying. Magic Band affixes to your wrist via 2 small snaps. It's easy for the band to get snagged on something and pop off. Make sure you press the snaps fully into place. Okay. So, at this point in time, this is not something I would buy.
Nope.
So, it's somewhat limited, but let's not mistake what really this is. Is once you register this Magic Band to your account, it's a way for Disney to track what Udi's doing, where he's going, what he's buying.
Yep.
Actually, not what he's buying because there's no way to purchase with this yet.
Oh yeah,
but
it will get there.
It will get there. For me, $34.99. Even that price point, I see no clear advantage to this because at this point you can't really do anything with it. You can, I mean, there's a novelty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about novelty with certain items and then the collectability of it. Okay.
Sure. I mean, some of the designs are cool, but not enough for me to drop the money for that. I mean, I can see why kids would love it.
Yeah.
So until they allow you to buy things with it, it's of no value to me.
Yep.
Really. Now, there's a cool use case I was thinking about because I always give my daughters money, even though they're 25 and 22. I always give them a little bit of money to spend. Udi's shaking his head. Just while we're there, just for snacks or whatever. So if you could load their Magic Bands with like $35 or something like that, that way they could buy their stuff using the Magic Band. That would be cool.
And you could see them trying to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do I want this thing attached to my debit card? Probably not.
No.
I just don't think there's a clear advantage to having one right now. I don't know. What are your thoughts on all this?
No, I don't see anything. I mean, I really don't. I mean, the novelty. There are novelty, an aspect of it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Being able to maybe feel a little bit more interactive with a show, and I've seen video of it reacting, and I'm kind of like, all right.
Sure.
Underwhelming, overwhelming. None of that. It's very okay, to me. The thing is, you're right. It is a way for the park to collect metadata on you, and that to me is not in the park. Not such a big deal. It isn't.
Right.
They need to get their metrics. You and I, we talk about metrics.
We do.
Yeah, we've had conversations about metrics really a lot with you in your line of work. But at one end, I'm like, okay, you're basically being a collection or making the collection of your habit and what you do in the park much easier for them to gather.
For sure.
To me, in the park, do I really care? No. I don't care. In the park, I don't care.
No.
Outside of the park is when I have problems, from a privacy standpoint. But inside the park, you're in that property. You're not going to be doing anything crazy. It's going to be like, okay, how did, this family, they bought 3 bands. Okay, this one, they went here at this time. They did that, and it's going to be a predictor trying to predict how the company operates in the future.
Sure. Yeah.
To me, not that big of a deal.
No, I mean,
No.
And if I went with people that had them, I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't even care.
I wouldn't have FOMO.
Nope.
Right? I'd be like, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Until I see a clear advantage of having it, no.
Yeah.
And there's that bounty hunter game, which it's kind of cool, but I'm thinking. Yeah, if they were spending their time searching for a bounty, that could take hours of doing that. I don't know. I think there's better ways to use your time at the park.
Yeah.
But again, these are not for you and I.
No. I mean, you have kids who will run around and want to do that, and maybe it's a detractor for them. But to me, you take away, if you're doing that, you kind of take away from the important things in the park.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I think these are going to be great hits with kids, and I think they're going to love how they light up and vibrate and sync to the music of the shows. That's great. That's just not my jam. But we shall see how. We shall keep an eye on the progress of these and how they develop, because this time next year we could have a whole another version of these. Once that things will link to your card, you can shop pretty easy with it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Okay. So the last item of the news is also what Garrett Bear asked tonight. His question was regarding the recent ticket prices overall going up. Through one-day tickets, there's 7 tiers now, 0 through 7 for single-day tickets, and for park hopping tickets, which is what's going on, and also a price increase in parking, a price increase in certain activities within the park, certain experiences within the park have all gone up. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're dealing with right now. And and what is your thought about all that right now? Just what has transpired for you? What do you think?
Well, so the conversation we had, because we brought that up, and the price hike that just hit last week?
Yeah, about a week and a half ago.
About a week and a half ago. Hit, and I kind of went, well, there it is. They pushed me. They pushed me.
Yep.
And for me, and it's not necessarily just the park, okay? There are many, 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 many factors that apply in everyone's life. We all have things we got to take care of. We all have... There's an expression that I use that I'm not going to use on the show because we're family friendly, but there's an expression that I use when I talk about this stuff, about what you need to do to get your money, the amount of money you need to do to cover.
Okay.
So that has been being pushed at every level for everybody. No one is, well, there are a few people who they don't give a damn about it, but for the vast majority of us normal folks, we have to be very choosy now about where we go. Sure. I think we've been talking about this for a while. It isn't a new topic.
No.
So with the recent price hike, I'm like, okay, I was already teetering. Yeah. Like, okay, I need, if I'm going, the debate being AP, Magic Key, what are we doing? And you and I, we talk about it, and we share our thoughts with that. And so I'm like, okay, until they offer APs and open, and they offer Magic Keys for everybody, nobody has one except for the prior people, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So now, with the next price hike, I went, okay, and that's it. They priced me out. Mm-hmm. They priced me out. They priced me out of being able to go more than maybe one time a year.
Yes. Without the ability to have a Magic Key.
Correct.
Yes.
And I've already made my trip this year.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, and talking about it, about going to try to make the park one more time this year.
Okay, for the holidays, yeah?
For the holidays. And I love that time of year and everything. And I'm like... And I was on that raggedy edge of like, ooh, I can probably pull it up going for a day, and I can enjoy the park, and it's going to cost me X amount of dollars. And I started doing the math in my head, and then the price went up.
Sure.
And then I went, oh, well, that killed it. That literally killed it. I'm like, that extra was an extra 20. No, it went up an extra $40.
Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah.
It would have been. I mean, I'm being general, maybe not quite as much, but it was enough for me to go like, I can't do that. No.
I mean, their price increases exceeded the rate of inflation.
Yep.
So inflation goes, hey, well, if you believe in that sort of thing, we're at 8%. Disney says, hey, hold my churro. Mm-hmm. I got you beat. I'm going at 10%.
Yep.
And sure enough, they're about 10%.
Yeah. Well, you know,
across the board.
but they've been raising prices about that rate forever.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, and again, I bring this up. It's because of the factors of what we got going on across the country right now.
Yep.
In where we are, and the globe. Really, if you really want to go that big, I won't go into a big global political thing. If you guys want to talk about that, you know, to hit me up. But, and I'm always willing to talk about that. But when it comes to the park, that was it. It's like I can't. Like I can't do that now. I can't stretch that, and I can't justify the dollar now amount that I need to make for 1 day to the park. 1 day to the park. Because we all know 1 day to the park and the cost of going to Disney isn't just admission. You know, it is your travel, your food, your accommodations.
Yep.
You think about that, and I kind of went like, okay, if I want to go down to the park, I can drive. Well, how's that? How much was that going to cost me? Okay, well, maybe I can fly.
Well, how many miles does your car get?
On the freeway?
Yeah.
24.
24?
Mm-hmm.
And how many gallons is your...
17.
Seriously?
It's a big tank.
Oh, so 17... Oh, you can make it down in one tank?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But to fill that tank is now 100 and...
17 gallons in that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
It's a big tank. I drive... For everybody who doesn't know...
Oh, here we go. Quick.
What car
quick.
do I drive?
I know what you drive.
What do I drive, Mark? It's a ongoing joke.
You drive the Dodge Challenger.
You had it right the first time.
I know it's a Charger. But you looked at me funny like...
I know. I'm like, Anyway.
No, the Challenger has the flat back
square,
and more square, and the
axles
Charger
spread out.
slightly more rounded in the back.
It has more curves. Anyway, anyway, that's what I drive. And
it's a nice car.
Yeah, I love my car. But yeah, it becomes a thing. Is like, okay, in January when we went the whole family. Yeah, it was $80 a tank, got me down there, and I only filled up a little bit past the Grapevine because I might as well. We're here.
Yeah.
And I put another 40 in. It was 110, and then coming back is basically the same thing. That isn't that way anymore. It's not that price anymore. It's probably like 100. It probably cost me almost a couple $100. So again, when they added that, it was all these small things that incrementally everything was going on. So I'm like, okay, that was it. Like it had the thing, and I made the comment in our text where I'm like, well, they priced me out. That was it. And I guess as a fan of the park, it was like, I guess it hit me like I was very matter of fact about it.
Yeah.
Like I kind of went, that was it. And then, Mark, you chimed like, well, Magic Key. I'm like, exactly, but we don't have that opportunity.
Right, they don't have it. And it looks like they may be looking. I mean, I don't see a foreseeable date when those things might come back online. Yeah. And it scares me to think that they might not have them online again.
Yep.
For now. So for me, I'm kind of, I've got mixed emotions about it because I think, number one, I think they're tone deaf with what's going on in the outside world. I mean, they're asking a lot for people. The minimum price is $104, and I think the highest price is $179 on a busy day. So, and here's the thing: there's just no way you're going to convince me. Sorry, Sam, that DCA is worth $179 for 1 day.
No.
There's just no way. It's not even anywhere near that price point.
No. Not yet.
Disneyland that's a lot of money for Disneyland.
Yeah.
But people will pay that for $179 on a tier 7. But you're asking someone to go to DCA for $179. I think they're about $100 too much, literally, on that. I mean, $80 should be a decent.
If you get you get $80 for a day DCA, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do that.
Yeah, and no park hopping for sure. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
But a 2-day park hopper, is sitting at $345.
$345.
It's just asinine.
And earlier this year it was just under. It was like $280 something, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And you still can't even park hop until 1.
Yeah.
So I think that is a little messed up. I think this Genie Plus nonsense is just it's $30. That went up, but that price is going to fluctuate as well. And I give they're tone deaf on that as well.
Yep.
They're tone deaf on lighting. Like $25 on a premium day to ride one attraction.
Yep. Well,
25
okay.
no way.
I think tone deaf isn't the right word for it.
You don't think so?
No. I think they're fully aware.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, you're right. They are fully aware.
But
go ahead.
No, but my point is that they're at that point where they are now. I feel like they're pushing.
Oh, they're pushing.
We know everybody is struggling. We know that a lot of people aren't don't have a lot of extra money anymore.
At least for their entertainment budget.
Correct.
That's a lot. I mean, because if we need to buy groceries, or we need to, I mean, clearly you're going to buy groceries.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you're saying.
But I think they're trying to figure out where they can push and where they're going to get pushback from.
Sure.
And I think there is another level of we're going to put it here and we're going to leave it here. And even if we get a drop-off, we will hopefully be able to, at the bare minimum, maintain what we were making already.
Yeah.
And then eventually people will come back.
They might.
The long game.
Sure, but if they start dropping off, then they're going to probably reintroduce the magic keys.
And there is where the caveat, then that's where the game becomes.
Yep.
That's where the game begins.
And it is a game.
Yep.
And when I said mix, here's the mixed part about the mixed emotion is, yeah, I'm a little upset with what they're doing, but if we worked for Disney, we go, oh, guys, we have a meeting to talk about this. What are we going to do about the crowds? Because this fake reservation system, which really is a metrics, I think. Even though I know I was talking about this with a friend the other day, he said that, the reservation system, they do cap it out, and there are dates that do sell out. But I think that for generally speaking, that number's got to be really high.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, and Jess is supposed to have a trip report. She was there on a middle of the week, a Wednesday in October.
And what did she say?
She said it was packed.
Well, okay. Without going too far down this rabbit hole, I think people have got used to an empty park, though. I'm going to be real.
Sure.
I don't think that there are packed 3 years ago packed, 4 years ago packed.
You think it's less?
Yeah. I don't have that hard number because we have to remember that when the park closed, we had a year, or was it a year and a half? Almost 2 years. How long was the park closed?
I want to say, between 12, I think it was closer to 18 months or something.
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Let's call it that, year and a half.
And then when they came back, very limited capacity. I went with Jess, and it was like a playland because there was nobody around. I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. And I think people adapted to that quite quickly. I don't think they're back to the capacity that they were before. I'm only guessing because I have no hard data to back it up. It's just a feeling that I have.
Judging from what I was seeing, the pictures, it looks incredibly packed.
Yep. But the thing is, we also got to remember, is this how they've restructured the park? There's a lot of factors I think apply. Sure. So I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, and I fully and wholly admit that. But I think that the perception of it being crazy busy, I think is going to be tainted a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Because we got used to the fact.
Correct.
Okay.
Tainted. No, but going back, coming back to the point is, the crowding is always going to be. I don't know. We've had the discussion, and we've talked about this for forever. Anybody who's gone to the park and lower the park has always made this a point of their trip. A lot of people are turned off by it. Blah 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 blah. We talk about it all the time. So I don't think that, I don't think that they're going to address it that much. I really don't.
Okay.
I think maybe you could make the argument, and I think we've talked about it again before, because, again, this is a topic we talk about all the time, adjusting the price, and they're trying to push the people, a certain level of people out. They just are. No way around it. They have to cover costs. So for whatever reason, you can make arguments, but a certain amount of people are going to get pushed out. And they could be going with that thought process of, well, we put the price high enough. Naturally, we will lose a segment of people going in, but with the price hike, we won't lose profit.
Sure.
I feel that is a game that's being played right now.
Yes.
The dance is on. They got the banjo out. They're starting to play it, and we're going to see who's going to dance and who's going to fall.
Sure.
And this is where we're at. I fully think once that happened, I'm like, okay. The only thing that made me sad is, again, because then it priced me out. Like, it priced me out, and I'm like, and I am not a person who is like, I don't know, how can I put it? I'm not hurting for money. I don't make a ton of money. Like, I'm not rolling around in money, but I'm not usually hurting for money. I'm okay. I do okay for myself.
Sure.
And so for me to go like, I can't do that now.
Right.
And I kind of like, huh. So then I think about people who don't make as much in the family, then I think about the family factor. Like,
right.
You know, like Christy's going to the park.
Yeah, sure.
She's paying for her 2 kids, and a +1.
Uh-huh.
And the math started going off my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's blah, 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 blah,
2-day
blah, blah.
park hoppers?
Yeah, 2-day park hoppers are going 2 days. And I kind of went like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And that's what I think about it.
Yeah, that is a lot.
So, yeah, I mean, we know.
That's 350 times 8.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, no, times 4.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Times 4. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Times 4.
Do the math.
Yeah, sure. Plus
So
lodging and food and
Yep.
lightsabers. Oh, lightsabers went up to 250, right?
saw that too.
Okay.
All that's going to happen.
It's all going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe one of our goals for this year and the next 12 months is to maybe talk to listeners about how maybe they can save money on this and come up with some creative ways, and things that we would do. I'm waiting for Magic Keys, because even that $6.99 version, you would still be ahead if they had that, and they would be wise to pump that thing out.
Again, the game.
It's the game.
The dance is being played right now.
But the terms have to be right.
Yeah, I mean, like you said in the text thread, you're like, well, Magic Keys was like, and then you if not, I have to literally go, well, I'm going to go this year, and I'm going to make a concerted effort to go. And I'm back to the point where I am before. I'm like, nah, I'd rather go up to the Oregon coast or go to Catalina Island or go east, go to Texas or go to Tennessee or start seeing more of the world, go to Montana or Utah,
Yeah, yeah.
Utah. There's a lot of things. So, it's difficult, though, and it makes me a little bit sad because I don't enjoy being put where I am right now.
Sure. Oh, I understand.
Really not a good feeling.
Gotcha. Okay, so that hopefully we answered your question, Gerber. But we were going to talk about that, and I'm glad you asked. So that was on our thing. So that's where we are. We will continue to watch this, and hopefully Magic Passes come back with the favorable terms, and we can get going back. Okay, before we transition to our Star Wars / future presentation talk, the randomizer did show up. It's been a minute, but here we go. Woo-hoo. We get to keep an attraction, we get to remove one, and we get to retheme one. Here we go. Soaring Around the World, Casey Jr.'s Circus Train, and Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye. And I always love it when we get a mix of DCA and Disneyland attractions. So this is what we got. Soaring Around the World, Casey Jr.'s Circus Train, Indiana Jones. What are your thoughts?
Casey Jones, Soaring Around the World, and Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Okay, go for it.
So, Casey, boy, peace out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get, okay, I get why people wouldn't want to go. I really do.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I think I've ridden it one time. Yeah, one time. The nostalgia and the history is great. But given the options I have, thank you, randomizer, Soren and Indy. You all know that Indy is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
You know, it just is. So there's no way that's going to go anywhere. And then Soren. So Indy, I don't know, is going to be closed down for what, like a year now?
I heard that wasn't the case. It was going to be closed down for about a week.
Yeah, okay. Well, they need to close it down for a year. Anyway, okay, Indy's going to stay. Okay, and Indy's going to stay because it is a great attraction. It just needs to be tuned up. And it needs to be brought back to its original opening day glory and have everything working at 100%. That's it. You don't have to modify it more. It is a great attraction.
For sure.
So then that leaves me with the old good old Soren. And I've said it before, and I'm going to stick to it. And my plan to improve it, they could do it very, very easily. I'm mad that they don't do it. They could make it a flip-flop sequence from California and hopping in the world. I would love, love, love not knowing which one I'm going to go into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love. I mean, and if you want to make the argument, it's like, oh, it won't work. Hello, Mission Breakout.
Yeah.
You never know. It's a novelty. Like, what song am I going to get? Think about that. As popular, Soren's popular. No matter what, it's always packed. It's a great attraction. I love it to death. It's so much fun. You know, going in there and flying. It's such a unique experience. If you haven't been on it, please go on it. Anyway, but yeah, the improvement would be have that where it is literally, I don't know if I'm going to be soaring over the world or soaring over California, and they could add another one. They could add soaring through the Amazon. They could even
sure.
They could do holiday or holiday theme special.
Yeah.
They could do that. Like, imagine incorporating characters into the holiday. Like doing an overlay for, I don't know, a Marvel overlay.
A Marvel overlay? Yeah, well, you're in that park.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, there are a lot of things they could do. So, to me, it's like, okay, Casey, sorry to see you go, but bye. Indy remains, stays the same, just make it, return it to its former glory. And then soaring over the world, make it a mishmash. You don't know which one you're going to get.
Okay. That's a good answer. Yeah, I'm not going to stray too far from that. I do have a sentimental tie to Casey Jr. and storybooks. Not that I think those are the best attractions, but I think, as Marcus once said, and not too long ago, I kind of need those two things to be going. It helps the experience for me to have those things just doing their thing. And that'd be weird for me to not have Casey Jr. over there. So, you know, I think I'm going to go a little bit different. I think I'm going to keep Casey Jr. I think I'm going to take out Soaring Around the World. And I think I am going to... see, Soaring Around the World is such a great experience. The whole thing's different. But Indiana Jones needs to be brought back to its former glory.
Yep.
Now, I would love for them to maybe they change the whole mission from Temple of the Forbidden Night to something else.
Nah.
Maybe around the new indie movie?
No. Everything I'm hearing from the indie movie, no, I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
Oh, dude, rumor mill.
Okay.
It
Well, then, I'm going to keep Indiana Jones the way it is.
Yep.
I'm going to pull out Soren. No. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to keep that the way it is. And, gosh, it's tough because I like both Soren and Casey Jr., but the truth of the matter is it's been a long time since I've ridden Casey Jr.
Yep.
I guess if I was to remove Casey Jr., they would have to keep Storybook, so I'd be okay with that. And Soaring Around the World, I agree with Udi. I would like them to be a new California version, or you never know what version you're going to get with World or California.
I love that idea, dude. They could so do it.
Right. Or maybe there could be a third one that we haven't seen yet. Soaring over China or soaring over the forests of the world. The Amazon, right? You said,
dude, or flying, soaring over the jungles.
Yeah,
soaring over jungles.
Sure.
And then going from different jungles across. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
About that.
For sure.
soaring over the oceans. Oh.
Oh, that'd be great. And with all the the smell of the sea
yeah.
salt.
Oh
and,
my. Dude. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so and you would never know what one you got.
No.
And so I think I'd be down with that.
Yep.
Okay. Now, since the randomizer just interrupted or rudely interrupted the show,
Thanks,
we're gonna say goodbye for now.
Bye-bye. Get out.
Bye. We should go to the feature presentation, talk about Star Wars, what's going on with Disney Plus, and yeah. All right, let's go do the feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Okay, so this particular topic came up today during our bike ride. We were talking about, hey, what should we talk about tonight? And we stopped talking about that theme, and then I don't know, we were riding, and then I mentioned something about what do you think of the new series Andor? What the latest episode? We talked about Andor, and then Udi said, well, hey, let's talk about Andor and Disney Plus and how that might tie into Galaxy's Edge. So here we are. We are currently in Disney Plus is really carrying the banner, the Star Wars banner, all by itself right now, because they have not made a theatrical release for quite some time. What was the last Star Wars? Was it Episode 9? That was the last thing that came out, right? Mm-hmm. There was nothing Rogue One. Okay, so the Episode 9. It's been that long since you've had and we talked about. We did mention a couple projects that were announced, but for some reason or another, stalled out. They were not greenlit anymore. What's up? Is it red lit or in the trash can? Or I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Dropped.
Okay, so, but you know, they really have a popular series with Mando. The Mandalorian. You can check out Udi's other show, The Mando Show. He can discuss about that. We're not going to go in the depths of that stuff, but we're going to scratch the surface a little bit and talk about what's going on right now with what they have going on and how we can see that in the parks.
Yep.
So have at it.
Well, we'll go with what we opened our conversation with earlier, which would be Andor. And for anybody who hasn't watched Andor yet, I mean, we brought it up in our last show. My brother chimed in.
Yeah.
He was right there.
Yeah.
It was the last show before. Last show, right? Last show.
It was last show with the two-parter.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, we described it as a slow burn. And the one thing that Andor has going for it is, or two, there's a couple. Okay. One is it's actually good writing. Okay.
Yeah, it's very
We
good.
actually have good writing. And the other part, and here's going to be the big tie-in, and as I go, I'm going to go basically on my same diatribe I went earlier, is it is pointing the direction of the original trilogy, okay? We all know, for most people who have followed along, Cassian Andor, we originally saw him in Rogue One, you know, roguish spy who's kind of a jerk and, you know, is trying to do what he's trying to do to, you know, for the rebellion and everything that happens. You know, for everybody, again, who's watched Rogue One, we all know his fate. But one of the reasons why a lot of people, for one reason or the other, generally like Rogue One, it is because it ties into the original trilogy. So, Rogue One has that going, or Andor has that going for it.
It does.
We know which way. We're getting the Empire at its height, which we have never, ever seen. But again, we're tying back into the original trilogy. We had seen through the prequels how the Empire was born. We see the rise of the Empire. We see the rise of the Sith. We see the end of the Jedi Order. We see all these things, but yet we never, ever hear or haven't seen. We've only heard of how evil the Empire is. We only heard about how evil Vader and how much of a badass he is. We had only really heard, and we saw Rogue One, we saw like a fresh glimpse of like, oh man, this guy is like, wow. How many people were blown away by that hallway scene in Rogue One?
The last 30 seconds?
Oh my God, I geeked out like a madman. I rewind. I mean, when I watch Rogue One, I'm like, and rewind, and watch again, and rewind, and watch again. And
Yeah,
rewind.
I remember seeing it at the theater, and the audible reaction was just this overwhelming swell of like, oh my God.
I lost my ish.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
What?
dude.
Yeah.
But, you know, and so Andor, has been slow. Okay, and we talked about, we're critiquing the show because both Mark and I were just talking, and we both agreed that we liked it, but we were both critiquing that, no show is going to be perfect. But I brought up that. So then that opened up the discussion about Star Wars in general. Me being a little bit more in depth and more of a hardcore Star Wars fan than Mark is. Mark being a little bit more of a passive. Passive isn't the right word, but
Yeah, no, you're right. You definitely have a lot more knowledge about this than I do. But I have a lot of questions that may seem very juvenile to Udi, but no, I don't collect anything. No, I enjoy it. I don't have a podcast on it like you do. So there you go. I'll just say that.
Yep. So,
but I can carry a conversation.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, you do well. Like, I gave you grief for a question you asked, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway,
what did I? Well, sometimes I ask you to just get him brought up, but I don't know what I asked.
I don't remember either. But so what we're talking about is that, okay, where are we at as Star Wars as a whole? Okay, what we take that assessment of like, okay, of all the different things, and of course Galaxy's Edge will always come into this conversation because it is part of the Star Wars universe, whether you're a park goer or not, whether you're a Star Wars fan or not, it is now either part of the park or part of your Star Wars experience. It's going to be one of those, like, or both for people like me and for Mark. It applies to both. So I thought to myself, well, okay, what did Galaxy's Edge do? And what did they do right? Mm-hmm. And what did they do wrong? And we've critiqued it up and down, but I think the biggest thing, and tying in with Disney Plus, and understanding what they're trying to do, a multi-level marketing, multiple tie-in, because you kept on bringing up it over and over, and you brought it up more than once. It's like, I want to see Batuu.
I still think they should.
Okay, and I said I didn't care.
But, but from a Disney perspective, you go, well, Star Wars fans, we've never seen, prior to it opening, we had never seen Batuu.
Or heard of it.
Or even
Black
heard
Spire,
of it.
Batuu, none of it.
And, okay, initially, I thought that concept was cool, and I understood what they were getting at with this. Mm-hmm. You're not in Disneyland, you're in Batuu. That's why we have the code names for bathrooms. That's why we have code names for everything else. Mm-hmm. It turns out people didn't like that. Mm-hmm. They don't want to speak in a different language. They don't get the idea, why can't I buy Mickey Mouse ears in Galaxy Edge? And I think Disney kind of misjudged what they were doing, although I thought it was cool. I got it. I understood. But I do think that they messed up with that for sure. Now,
well, you're right. And I think, remember, my comment has been for a while, and it will always remain this way. My opinion has not, and I don't think it'll change until they make a change, is that the time locking was dumb.
You mean the theme?
The theme? No. The time lock. They time locked Galaxy's Edge into the sequel trilogy timeline.
Right. Yes.
Hence why we got Kylo Ren and Rey and First Order.
Yeah.
We didn't get Imperials. We didn't get Stormtroopers. We didn't get Darth Vader. We didn't get Luke. We didn't get Han. We didn't get Leia. We got because they time locked it in there.
Right, but you know how silly that is now. Of course, I mean we know it's silly, but if that was really what they're doing, Phasma should have been in that land. Yet Phasma's walking around Space Mountain.
Right.
What is she doing there? Is she in Phasma for
no
Space
idea.
Mountain?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyways,
so but again, this is where we can begin to dissect the errors that they made with Star Wars, and they continue to make it at a level.
Yeah.
So tying it back into the park is they did that, and that was an error in there. I think most people can look at it now and look at them. If you're going to be very pragmatic and very realistic about it, you can look at what they were trying to do. Mm-hmm. We all kind of went like, okay, interesting, high concept. High art, if you want to put it that way.
Sure.
Very conceptual. Okay, that could play. Having the cast members be in character 100% of the time, like fully, like asking for the credits and all those things. And I didn't like, and to me that is cool. I enjoyed that. We all enjoyed that. A lot of people enjoyed that. A lot of people didn't enjoy it because they didn't understand what was going on.
Exactly. And I'm not saying we understood it. And there are some people that go to theme parks and they don't want that.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make the argument. This is my argument that kind of ties into Star Wars in general right now, and especially when it goes into the park. That if they were going to time lock it, they picked the wrong time.
Yes.
They flat out picked the wrong time.
Sure.
I think I'm going to argue that, and you guys can tell me. You guys can let me know in any way, shape, or form. Yell at Mark, yell at me, talk to me. But I'm going to make the argument that if they would have time locked that, or not even time locked it, I don't even care about time locking, again. But if they were going to choose a time lock, why not time lock it to the original trilogy? You go in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I'm going to go... You know, they have. I've read stories of this happening before. People going to more remote villages or more remote parts of the globe. You know, not like out in the middle of nowhere, but you know, not so deeply connected with civilization. I'm air quoting that.
Sure.
And they've held up a picture. Who is this? They've held up a picture of Jesus.
Yeah.
They go Jesus.
Sure.
They've held up a picture of like a president or something. Nah, some people know. Some people know their own president. They held a picture of Darth Vader. They're like, ooh, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So this again, I'm taking a long trip around, but this also all plays into my thought process. If they would have time locked it into original trilogy, that would have changed the game completely for where we are in Star Wars universe. Okay, and
Yes.
I'm not talking just in the park though, and this is my theory and my thought. This goes into Disney Plus. This goes into the media and what they had planned, okay, and how that's affected. And I'm gonna make my argument for I think the proof is they're beginning to move back into that direction.
Okay.
Okay, so if they would have done that, most people, one of the biggest arguments, other than there's not much to do here. It's beautiful, it's great. You know, if you're really into Star Wars, you really, really connect with it. You know, if you don't, you kind of go like, it's kind of cool, but there's not much going on there. You can appreciate, like, my mom loved the land. She loved it. She's like, this is amazing how they had everything themed and everything. She's like, this is gorgeous. And she loved it. And
sure.
Yeah. But you go in there, and then if you put, but the other complaint was, where's Darth? Where's Luke? Where's Leia?
Right.
Those are the people that everything sprouts from. I made the comment to you today that the original trilogy is the heart of Star Wars.
Yeah.
The heart. It is the beating. It is the lifeline. It is everything begins from there. If you do not have them in there, you fade out.
Yeah.
I appreciate what they're trying to do at one level because they're trying to usher in a new level. They're trying to bring in new people into it because this is also what they had. We're going to start a whole new trilogy, but it's failed. I think we can be honest right now and be very, very, very frank that their attempt to move away from the original trilogy has failed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Utterly failed. And my arguments for that are this. You look at anything that has been even remotely successful, ties back into the original trilogy.
Sure.
Mandalorian. Why did The Mandalorian succeed so well?
Why did it succeed?
Why was it so popular?
Gosh. Besides the good writing and the good acting.
Correct.
And, because of this being a Grogu was a little bit...
That plays.
That plays. I'm trying to think of what OG characters we saw there.
Think about the very last episode.
Of course, yeah, but we didn't get to that point to the very end, right?
But go ahead.
Yeah, but we did get there, and that was one of the best moments I've seen.
Think about when Boba Fett got introduced.
Boba Fett got introduced. When did he get? You have to help me out. When
Season 2.
He did.
He got hinted at.
Oh yes. Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, gotcha for sure.
So.
Understood.
Original trilogy. Another reason why Mandalorian was so successful is because they took the feel of the original trilogy and planted it in there. Then they took aspects of what they'd been building on from the original trilogy out. What I mean by that is by Clone Wars and Rebels, okay?
Yeah.
You look at Clone Wars and Rebels, both directly attached to the original trilogy. We see the tentacles and the vines intergrowing and intertwining into these stories, okay? Mm-hmm. You can go into Clone Wars and we can see how that reaches into the prequels and then reaches back into the original trilogy. We go into Rebels, definitely goes back into the prequels and goes into the original trilogy. Attached there, there's your lifeline, okay? You come out of that and you go to, The Resistance, that cartoon that came out after, okay? That was prequel. Or that was sequel between original trilogy and sequel. There was no tie to the original trilogy. Failed.
Right. Failed.
Not a bad show. I enjoyed it. It was 2 seasons done.
I don't think I saw it.
It was okay, but it was all First Order. That failed. High Republic, book-wise, it's failing. A lot of people aren't into it. Han Solo, any movie that has done relatively well or anything has to be tied in the original trilogy.
Okay.
The problem with Galaxy's Edge not being more popular is because you don't have the tie in the original trilogy. You just don't. People are like, where's Boba Fett? Now, you heard the uproar when people go like, hey, we're going to get Boba Fett and Fennec Shand. Amazing. They're like, people are going bananas. Sweet, they're going to be at Galaxy's Edge. And then they announce Grogu and Mandalorian.
Yeah.
People lose their minds over that.
Sure.
And again, because the ties are all there.
They are there.
The ties are all there. So, when it comes to Star Wars and going back to Andor, all the ties have to be there. The ties have to be there, and they have to play into that. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can make your arguments back and forth. Was there good things about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah. Were there bad things about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah. Were there good things about Book of Boba Fett? Yep. Were there bad things about Book of Boba Fett? Yep. And when you look at them, it's because they strayed away from that formula. They strayed away from what made them special.
Sure.
So where we are right now is interesting, okay? Because you brought up the fact there's no theatrical release, okay?
Yes.
And we're kind of all sitting there going, that's weird. Star Wars at the end of Last Jedi, or whatever it was, right? Last Jedi?
The Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker, whatever that movie was. Yeah, Last Jedi. Anyway, Rise of Skywalker, okay? They poised the franchise to be now built on the back of Rey. Okay, Rey and Finn and everything. And Poe. Where are we? How long ago was that now? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? How long ago was it? I don't even know. I think it was like 3 years ago, right?
3 years ago, yeah.
Probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Why, I ask, and this is a question for you guys, why has there been no continuation of, or even plan for a continuation of that storyline?
Yeah, not that I really want to see that storyline, but why isn't there anything?
Okay, so that attitude alone points to me the direction of it, and that's a problem that we're running into.
Yeah.
And I think this is becoming the grand problem with the franchise right now that is definitely going to affect the park, and it is affecting the park, I think.
And wasn't there, I mean, not to go on this tangent, but wasn't there supposed to be some extended cut of the last movie that we really should be seeing?
The what do they call it? The
director's cut?
Yeah,
it's what they did.
The Abrams cut.
Abrams cut, yeah.
Well, there was a rumor.
But I think he even said, no, we have a lot more footage.
Yeah, but I think he kind of said, like, we're never going to do that. I think I don't remember, because at that point, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care anymore.
I don't care.
Okay.
So, but that's my point, is like, you have to ask yourself, okay, why? Why would Disney not be building on that? Okay?
Sure.
You have to ask yourself why. And then you got to look at then you go, okay, why is everything so Disney Plus heavy right now?
Again, yeah, why?
Yeah, good question, right? So here's where I am with this, because there were three rumored movie feature film projects, or actually one was announced, okay? There was one that was announced and two that were kind of teased, okay? And one may still be happening, but from what I've heard, again, the rumor mill, they're all rumors, it's DOA also. The first one that came out shortly after The Rise of Skywalker was that Rian Johnson had another 3-movie deal. Which I think as a general, most Star Wars fans had that Luke Skywalker yell of no. No! That was mine. Mm-hmm. And that was how many years ago? Nothing. No rumor, no nothing. No writer, no director, no actors attached, no nothing.
Right.
Zero. Zip. Zilch. Okay, well. Then the other one came out. Rogue Squadron. Now, that one had Patty Jenkins attached to it. They came out. She announced it. She did a little video talking about how excited she was and she was writing for it and all these great things. I'm like, oh, sweet. Here we go. And Rogue Squadron was going to be attached to the Rebel Rogue Squadron during the original trilogy.
Yes.
I'm like, beautiful. Great. We get more characters in that era that we all love. And we're going to get, again, people are excited because we have the attachment to the original trilogy. Where's that project now? DOA.
Yeah.
Done. Gone. Never heard of it. Again, the peep. I've heard Patty Jenkins no longer can do it because of other commitments or writing or whatever. Again, but it's gone. Gone. Okay. I wonder what happened there. Okay, so what about now? And then the other one, a rumored Taika Waititi directed movie.
Yeah, unnamed movie. Yeah, that's
Unnamed.
Right. Yes, that's right. That's gone too.
From what I'm hearing, that one isn't like dead, but from what I've heard, again, all rumor is that it's pretty much dead now too. So you got to ask yourself, where are these films? Why do we have?
Oh, one, but there is. They did announce one, the one Skull something.
That isn't a movie.
Well, that's
Disney
not.
Plus.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see. I had no idea what that was.
Yeah. So okay, then we go. Okay,
Who's the guy in that again?
That is Jude Law.
Jude Law. Okay, I like Jude Law.
Yeah, I do too. But again, let's go into D23. We're a month and a half, 2 months out of D23, whatever it is. Lucasfilm. What did we get? Jude Law. We got that out of Comic-Con, and we got that out of Celebration. Did we get a movie announcement?
No, we did not get a movie announcement, but we got the new animated one coming out this week. Where is that announced?
Disney Plus. That was announced at our Jedi Order, and that's coming out this week.
Okay.
I'm very happy for that. But again, I'm going to make my argument for here. Why am I excited for it? Ahsoka Tano and Count Dooku.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then where do those tie into? Original trilogy again.
Sure.
You see my point? And I go back to it, and I keep on going back to it, that the original trilogy is the lifeblood. If they're not doing things right now that can lead us back to the original trilogy, people are just not going to migrate to it. They're not. They're not. They haven't. It's been proven over and over and over again. If you take the original trilogy, and I brought this up before, and I will always bring it up. If you took the original trilogy characters and you integrated them and changed them and put them into Rise of Resistance,
sure,
people already love that attraction, as is I do.
Yeah,
blow my mind every time I ride. I'm like, oh, I've ridden it 11 times.
What?
11 times, and I cannot get enough of it.
Okay,
blows me away every time. And then but I can't help it. Almost every time, I'm like, oh man,
only if
that was Darth Vader. You go into the control room. Only if that was Darth Vader and the Emperor. Man, would that be crazy?
It'd be crazy.
Insane.
So I asked you this before, though. Speaking of Galaxy's Edge, since to kind of put a cap on your statement here, we have no movies announced. Mm-mm. So there's nothing more to discuss about that because there's nothing to discuss. I mean,
literally nothing.
Although our hope would be that yes, we have a theatrical release coming up because I think Star Wars needs that. And Udi's saying it needs to be tied somehow to the OG, OT, I think is the word, the OT, the original trilogy. Even faintly tied to it is fine. And I would agree to that, but we just have nothing in the works. At least that's been announced, and I'm hoping that they do. So there's nothing more to talk about that. Although Disney Plus is, like I said, carrying the banner. We have some live action coming out next year, which is going to be fantastic. I'm guessing. I'm hoping. You know what? Wait a minute. There's the Lando series at some point that I don't think anybody's asking for. But I mean, I mentioned this to you before in passing. I would love to see Palpatine's story because we know nothing about that guy, and we get to see Plagueis the Wise.
Plagueis the Wise.
Okay. Yes, absolutely yes, and maybe we get to see more of that planet. Where do the Sith live?
Who?
Where the Sith go? We see it for about 10 minutes. Exegol. Exegol.
Yep.
I'm gonna say Exxon. Exegol. How cool is that? Whatever glimpse we saw of that.
Right.
Who are these people? Why are they in this big room? What is going on? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a ton they could do. But you mentioned about changing Rise of the Resistance. And I know I've asked you this before. Would you be okay if they shut down Galaxy's Edge and rethemed everything? Me too. What would you want them to do?
Well, okay. I will go with Smuggler's Run. Okay, instantaneously. That is an easy fix. Okay, that is a beyond easy fix.
Dude,
all you got to do.
Hold on, riddle me this, just real quick, and I won't interrupt again. Why the heck is Star Tours getting new adventures? And Millennium Falcon has the same one.
Yep.
Why are they putting money and time into that?
Yep. Okay.
I'll stop.
So it doesn't make sense, right?
No.
Okay. So again, this is where we go with the time locking and all that, because Star Tours has no such restriction on it. They can go wherever. They can travel to any of the different lands or planets. You have Kylo in one, you have Darth in another, you have all these different things, and it isn't locked into the timeline. Smuggler's Run is. You cannot, you could do it. It's going to be basically the same thing, okay? So, Smuggler's Run, the easy fix is, one, get rid of Hondo. I love Hondo Tanaka as a character. Don't get me wrong. Hondo Tanaka is a character for anybody who knows.
It is
a lot of people.
Hondo.
Yeah, a lot of people. They walk in there, go like, "Who the heck is that guy?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, go back in the Clone Wars and you go there, and you're going to find out Hondo Tanaka to be
and Rebels,
slimy, crooked, conniving, but likable bad guy.
Exactly. Apt description. That's exactly who it is. You want to cheer for that guy, but you do not trust him.
You cannot trust you as far. Like, I can't throw you that far. I cannot. Like, there's no way. Like, I can't even turn my back on you. That's how much I can't trust you.
Yet I must have you around at all times.
Exactly. But I like you enough, and then I have. And when you look at it, they've been forced to deal with this guy. So Hondo Tanaka,
great character.
In the idea of the ride, in the idea of the attraction, and you hear everything. If you're plugged into what's going on, you're listening to him, and you understand what's going on. And he talks about his cut, and you think about of course Hondo's going to take his cut. He's always worried about that. He's always looking for a way to make his money. But anyway, that being said, we're talking about the Falcon.
Yes.
You do not relate the Falcon with Hondo Tanaka.
No.
You relate the Falcon to Han and Chewie.
Yes.
Period. Not Rey and Chewie.
No.
Not Lando.
Lando would be next.
No, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody is next.
Okay.
Nobody.
Oh, well, okay, fine.
That's my point. Everybody who's a hardcore Star Wars fan, not even a hardcore, but a very avid fan, looks at the Falcon and goes, "You are a character unto yourself."
Sure.
So why would you not pair that with the most iconic people? That is where they failed.
Oh yeah.
Again, this is all driven the failures that they've had in the park, and this stems into this again. They're hat in hand with the park and the IP right now. What we're getting, those failures are hat in hand with each other. And I don't know if you're not a goer of the park, you may not be able to put the tie the two together. But for people like you and me, and people you guys who listen to the show and know enough stars, you're going to be like, oh yeah, the failures fall right with line right along with each other because
Yeah.
I'm making the argument that with the introduction of time locking and pushing for the sequels and time locking there, that was the impetus or the beginning of its downturn because they did not go with what got them there. So what I would change is you take the squared off radar dish on the Falcon and you put the correct circular one.
Okay.
For a lot of people who don't know, if you go look at the Falcon, the squared off radar dish is from the Falcon. And for anybody who doesn't know why that got replaced, anyone remember Return of the Jedi? Anyone? Bueller?
They hit something.
It gets knocked off. So
Okay.
it gets replaced with the square one.
Okay.
Why? Don't know. Ask JJ for that one. I want to smack him in the head for that one. But anyway, you put that back on. You put it around, and then you change Hondo Tanaka with Han Solo. Done, and done.
Okay.
There you go.
Quick fix.
Quick fix, and then you can have the same runs, but then that would automatically change. So then you have Han Solo sitting there, and he could easily say his line. If you remember Return of the Jedi, as he's loading into the Imperial shuttle, and Leia kind of looks at him like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh man, I just got a feeling like I'm never going to see her again." Imagine you walking onto that, and he's on the screen, and he says that, he's looking at it like, "Oh man, I feel like I'm."
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Think about that.
Sure. Oh no, that would greatly impact your experience.
That and that's where it goes. Like, it's not only me. That series goes all the way back to the kids. Even the little kids
Sure.
are just now coming up. Yeah, we've talked about how the prequels are for some people. You have people coming up that the sequels are going to be their Star Wars. They may lean towards them or like them a little bit more or whatever, but they still all come back to the original trilogy, man. They all do. Every single one does. I would make that argument every day of the week and twice on Sundays. So everything comes back to the trilogy, okay? So that's what happened. Same thing with Rise of the Resistance. You put the escape. You put Luke. Okay. You remove Finn, and you can put Luke, or no, you could put Han. You would put Han Solo in that armor.
Yeah. For sure.
Easy.
Yeah.
You replace Rey at the beginning, and you put Leia, and you can make R2 where BB-8 is. That would take some retooling, but done. Doable.
Yeah.
Then you put Luke in the X-Wing, where Poe is. Hold on.
It's all done.
I challenge anybody who is here listening to this. I challenge you for you're a Star Wars fan, then flip that in your mind.
No, I think it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful.
Wonderful. See, I would be okay with them shutting it down. And I mean, I don't know. This whole Batu, no one knows. Why didn't they make it like Tatooine or something? Because, I mean, Tatooine seems to be where a lot of stuff happens.
Yeah.
Within the stories. I mean, even Mando, right?
Yep.
They're on Tatooine, right?
Yep.
Or on a different part. And
Yep. No, in Book of Boba Fett, all Tatooine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't see Tatooine in Rebels. Oh, we do. A little bit. We do.
Yep.
Okay. But I mean, I'd be down with that or Endor. I mean, how cool would it be to see the Ewok tree houses out at night? You can't get to them, but they're like way
They're back there. Yep.
up in the trees.
And you could have the doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, like the music. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
But see, this is first world problems, right? We're really complaining about it because we have this incredible park that we never thought we'd ever get to experience, and here we are complaining about it. I feel ridiculous.
Well, no, I don't.
Okay. I mean, it's just fun.
No, I
It's
get
just
I
fun.
get that. Yeah, no, I get that. But just to kind of so let me kind of like bring this all the way back around.
Okay.
Cassian Andor so far is pointing in a direction that I like. Andor is, okay? I think we're going to get a good series out of that. We have Mandalorian Season 3 coming. I can't wait for that.
When is that coming?
Next year. Don't know when.
Okay.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Thank you for saying it properly.
Ahsoka.
I was giving him grief because he couldn't say Ahsoka.
Yeah, I kept saying Asaka,
Yeah, Ashoka. And
Ashoka.
I'm like,
Shogun.
Yeah, Ahsoka.
Ahsoka
Yeah.
Tano.
Yeah, Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, jeez. Ahsoka Tano.
There we go. All
Oh,
right.
jeez.
But again, the reason why these characters are so popular and why people have lost their mind. They lost their mind with Mandalorian. They lost their mind when she popped on the screen. They lose their mind. They lost their mind when she grabbed that lady and said, "Where's your boss? You know, where's Thrawn?"
Yeah.
The only other time that I got more excited was when I saw Luke in that show.
Yeah.
And again, everything ties back. Everything ties back. So, in order to get the franchise back on track, I think, and here's where Bob Chapek, I think, is letting the course run its course a little bit, to let people realize that are higher up in the chain going, all these great ideas that you had, at the end of the day, the people have spoken.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
They're not saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. There are the crazies out there that are like going, that have lost their minds in that direction of like, I've watched some crazy videos about people. But anyway, but at the end of the day, the vast majority of people say no. No, we don't like what you're bringing out. It's easily fixed. Give me a few million, I'll walk in there and be like, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do.
For sure.
This is what we're going to do.
And open up the timeline to, yeah.
And I think we're getting that. I think with definitely getting with the arrival of the Mando and Grogu. Yep. Boba Fett, Fennec Shan. Those are out of timeline.
Sure.
They're out of timeline from before.
They are.
So my prediction is this. We are going to get a theatrical release. What it's going to be, I don't know. But if Disney is smart, if Bob Chapek is smart, is the head of Lucasfilm, who is not smart. She needs to get overridden. They go back to the roots. It's time for Disney to go back to the roots at every level when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Every level. And you will find the franchise, you will see the people flocking back. My quiet hope, and here's my hot take, and I will lose my ever-loving mind, and this is me definitely wishing, end of season Mando 3, Cara Dune comes back on the screen.
Okay.
Anyways,
there we go. Yes, and we'll end it with that. So, you know, the takeaway is that, yes, I think we're lucky to be living in this time of Star Wars where we get to experience this in the parks. We would like them to expand the Galaxy's Edge to have a timeline that encompasses. Well, just get rid of the timeline.
Yeah, get rid of the timeline
And have characters come and go as they please. I don't think anyone's really going to care.
No, I think the only thing that you need to do is make sure that the characters don't interact from different timelines. So if you're doing prequels, let prequel people roll around, and then, you know, a certain time, then original trilogy people will walk around, and then if you're going to do sequel trilogy, then let them walk around, but do it at a different time. So at one point in time, you'll have Kylo walking around with First Order troopers, and then Rey. At another point in time, you have Darth walking around with maybe Leia.
Sure,
Like, it just, those characters cannot interact.
Right. And they could handle it like they do any characters in Disneyland.
Yeah, they could.
Because you never know if Goofy's going to show up or Clarabelle or anyone, any kind of strange character. So, yeah, you just can't have Rey hanging out with Vader.
Princess Leia, and Vader. Yeah,
or Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Imagine the Emperor during Halloween time.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
absolutely,
my God.
right?
And Vader. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, crazy stuff. But hopefully we get some more Star Wars stuff to the theater soon. But very thankful we get, you know, these new stories from Andor that seem to exist on their own without any cameos. That we haven't relied on any cameos yet, which is good, right?
Yeah.
And that's
I
actually,
don't mind it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind either. All right. So that's going to wrap up episode 161. Episode 162 is going to be coming up in a couple weeks, and hopefully it's going to be jam-packed. We have a couple cool things going on with that. Then we're going to we're trying to work on a guest for another future episode, and hopefully a couple guests coming up. So we do have some ideas. And, so that's going to wrap that up. So if you would like to help out with the show, again, you can go to Instagram, Leaving Today Podcast, and you can go to Linktree. We have everything on there, Patreon, TeePublic, the website. And Patreon, make it super simple: $1, $3, and $5. And for that, you get to be on the show. If you want to send us an email, it's at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Udi, where can you be found?
You can find me on my other podcast, The Mando Show. We have up there our first 5 reviews of Andor, and we will be recording our next 3 set because this next week. That is all Star Wars centric. And then you can also find me on my Instagram page, which is HAXGOALIE, Haxgoalie. I answer all my DMs there. You can find me there.
Excellent. All right. Well, listeners, thank you so much again for tuning in, downloading. I hope we made your evening, afternoon, morning a little bit more bearable. Hopefully you laughed a little bit. Hopefully you got inspired to think about some stuff and send us questions. Mm-hmm. We would always love for that to happen. Okay. For that, we're going to wrap it up. We love you, adventures out there, and we will see you in the parks.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now ended its normal operating day. We hope you enjoyed your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
Sure, it can't be any worse than your whiskey and Coke from yesterday morning. Think of a banana.
Does it help? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Always does. Every time. Don't ask me why. But you make me hot. It's so close, I can feel it.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.